Hey, what's up, everybody? I am super excited and nervous and all kinds of feelings right now. Over the weekend, I had an awesome little out of my mind experience, hanging out with my dear friend McCabe, who is the co-founder, my co-founder with Community Funded. So we've worked together for years and years, and he extended me a pretty huge opportunity that I'm going to seize. Um, Over the weekend, we were up in the mountains, and I was doing a bunch of watercolor paintings, which I've been doing a lot lately. And McCabe offered me space in his coffee shops to install my art and to maybe become kind of a commercial artist. In that, for years and years, I have just created stuff because I enjoy it, but I've always wanted to be a. I've always wanted to support myself with art, and so I'm gonna go for it. I have a date of November 17th to have enough art to fill potentially two walls in two different coffee shops here in Fort Collins. And yeah, so now I'm wrapping my mind around this project and how I'm going to do it. And I thought that by recording and kind of documenting, it might be a fun way both for me to just continue sharing on YouTube, but also to create a little bit of accountability, because that's one of the biggest things when you're doing a project and trying to stay motivated is to be accountable. So, so here's what I wanted to do today. I wanted to just kind of walk through where my head is at. I know now what the kind of end objective is, but now I have to pull all of my stuff together. And so I've been in the mornings, I've been doing these little to-do notes on typewritten sticky notes. And the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to inventory what I have. So I have a lot of art pieces I've done over the years, and the first thing I'm going to do is just kind of inventory what I already have so I can figure out a plan for making prints. And since it's fun to share, I'm just going to show you a couple things that I know will make pretty easy, right off the bat, prints. So here's a drawing of mine. I call this the Thinker, and this is not the original. This is just a print in a frame, but I think this is something that I can probably even enlarge. One of my favorite drawings. I've also got a lot of stuff like this. This was digitally colored, but it's this crazy kind of seed that's growing. And so I can kind of dig through some of my old hard drives and find that type of art. I've got a lot of these etchings. So here's one that I like. There's a lot of reflection on it. It's like this little kid in a hammock or like in the bough of this weird plant with this canyon. And then just this crazy kind of growing thing. I was dabbling with this spray paint art for a little bit. And then in my sketchbooks, I've got tons of these. I think actually this olive one has got some cool projects that I wanted to work on. These ideas. A lot of my ideas come back to this sort of mind generating the world. And I think that's in focus. Let's see if I can zoom here a little bit. Yeah, so this was kind of an idea for like this little seated meditator guy. Yeah, this is actually a drawing that I have half completed, and I can share some of that. Ooh, let's see here. But I've just got a lot of these sketches and different works leading up to some of these bigger pieces that I wanted to do, and I don't know if I'm able to have time to finish a lot of these big pieces. See, I know there's more like drawings in here. Yeah, let's see. A lot of this stuff is my this is my notebook from just being crazy, tripped out, younger person. All right, I thought there was more art in this particular book. I know that there is, but it might be a little bit farther back. Yeah, things like... this is another one of these drawings I really like. It's definitely in the style. I call this style hectism. But some of these I think could turn into some nice prints. I want to look in this one. So this has got some more kind of work towards bigger pieces. There's this drawing I've been wanting to do for a long time that I call my Planetoid. Let's see if I can get the light on the right side of me. That'll help. I guess the light is directly overhead. So this is like this planet You can see over here, this is this jungle that is growing and then kind of subducts and turns into oil right about the time that all these little teepees, let's see if I can just turn it like this. See all these little glaciers melting, little people coming out of the glaciers and forests, teepees, cities. They start drilling for this oil that is the plant layer that kind of subducts and then turns into this city with all of this pollution and CO2, and then kind of a cataclysmic disappearance of that, and then that subducts and kind of becomes the plant layer again. So this was, this is a small sketch, but my idea was to do this as a very large piece. Let's see here. This is a lot of just like the planning. I really like, I wonder if this works better without this. I have a fisheye lens on here. Let me just get this off here. This seems to work a little better. Yeah, so this is just like these different materials, solids, liquids, gases, chemical reactions, creating these different expressions of form. And so the idea was to do that big piece in a way where I'm kind of showing all of these different components. So here's a lot of like the crystal forms. Here's kind of going from liquid to solid, and then plants growing out of it. And then that got into some more of these kind of studies for what this planetoid might actually be built out of. So here's like that liquid going to solids, the crystal becoming soil, and then out of the soil. Yeah, here's more just like study for that planetoid. And now I think I've shared a few of these on this channel before, but let's see. This is a whole other piece. This is the top half of another drawing that I'm trying to complete. Let me show you just, yeah, so like this stuff, where that crystal then becomes soil, then becomes the plants and the trees. And real quick, this is just like, yeah, this is helping me kind of take inventory, but this little top half is part of this drawing. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Real quick, here's like, this background is another painting that I've done recently. This like watercolor style that I've really been enjoying, that's just really loose. But let me see if I can't find the top half. Oh, here's another. I'm all over the place. I'm really spun up right now. I'm just like super excited. Here's another painting I did over the weekend. Might be a little hard to see, but it's this kind of like landscape. There's another painting that I did up in the mountains over the weekend. So here's a painting that I did for my friend Aaron. Also watercolor. Let me go back in time here though and see if I can't find. Here's like another sketchbook type drawing. I think a lot of these would make pretty interesting prints. And you can tell a lot of my work just has this, I don't know, organic form, structure, balance. Oh, this is cool too. So I've made a ton of these cigar box guitars. Sometimes you see them hanging in the walls in the background of the videos, but I think it'd be cool to make some cigar box guitars and maybe even paint them and sell those. But okay, so this is the top half of this drawing from long ago. Let's see. Just going back pretty dang far. Albums, favorites. Yeah, here we go. I'll let you stare at that while I find the bottom half here. Yeah, so it's like this seated meditator guy, and there's like a big bang, all these galaxies coming out, kind of creates this planet surface, and again, we've got my favorite little study here of solids moving towards soils, and then this little dude is kind of seated, there's like a little mushroom in front of him, and then he's kind of meditating, this like beautiful goddess, and then this twin trees, and one's got kind of a, let's see if I can zoom in. Does that work? No. Yeah, kind of a dark and light kind of polarity, and then on top, I kind of wanted to have this little meditation, and I think it'd be more kind of hectist, the way that I like to draw, not so literal. But here's a little seated person, the cross, this sort of sun disk you can see behind him, and the mushroom. These are things that I kind of consider to be like really aligned human spirituality. And then, I don't know, this was a while ago. This is like 2006, so I think this is like post 9/11, and I just kind of had this like, you know, the Eastern, or I'm sorry, the kind of Occidental mythology with this like fatherly deity shooting lightning bolts, bombs, wars. I don't know. I guess you can make what you want of it, and then sort of like an Eastern. I don't know. So there's a lot of work to do here, a lot to kind of figure out. But yeah, I mean, I think this as kind of a finished piece would be pretty sweet. Yeah, more of these little like little guy eating the fruit of life. More kind of nature growing. This is a pretty old sketchbook, but oh, this one actually was a study for a piece that I finished, and that is, where is that? Is it in here? Might not be in here. Huh, it's one of my favorite little etchings. I think I actually have a drawing of it in here too. Da-da-da. Yeah, here we go. So this is an etching on a clay board, and you can see kind of the tree. The actual one here, I think it's at least 8 by 10, but there's a sort of forest and the soil, and then this like couple layers of trees and the clouds, and I think just because of the ink I use, there's some kind of differences in the way that the light reflects, but I think I could probably clean this up digitally. So yeah, I don't know. So that's where I'm at. I've been drawing and painting and doing all these studies for years and years and years, and now I think I have an opportunity to really kind of go into it with some intention. And I think that the first step for me is just to get sort of inventory and clarity on what I have. I've got so many of these sketchbooks. Let's see what's in this one, just for shits and giggles. I mean, this is going back to 2006. And this style that I really like to draw in. All right. I call this hectism. It's sort of like cubism, but it really focuses on just form and flow. It's kind of like Angel Guy. At this time I was doing these videos for a construction company, and this was like watching some guy operate a drill. So that's like this weird hectist deconstructed drill. That's like a parking meter. But yeah, you know, I think there's probably a good number of, oh, this one's kind of cool, like this. Build the hive, build. Oh, running out of time. Okay, well, I'll leave it there, but my intent is to continue to post on this channel and just kind of share this process as I get closer and closer to, yeah, putting some art up on the walls. Thanks for tuning in. I will keep you posted. Cheers. Bye.